This is the mock speaking test for the International English Language Testing System conducted on November 8th, year 2024. The candidate is Sepideh Mujarrad and the examiner is Amin Mohammad Echasam. Good morning, my name is Amin Mohammad Echasam. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Good morning, I'm Sepideh Mujarrad.
All right, now in this first part, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's talk about what you do. Do you work or are you a student?
Actually, I graduated last year. I got my MA and defended my thesis, and now I work as an English teacher. I work full-time, actually.
And why'd you choose to become an English teacher?
It was really out of curiosity, the type of curiosity that started when I was an English student myself. I would constantly ask myself questions about, okay, why does the student use the past tense instead of the present tense and things like that. So basically, I decided to pursue this major to get an answer to my questions.
And is there anything you would like to change about your job?
If I could, I would improve the work-life balance because these days I'm basically glued to my desk and I'm either preparing for my classes or sending feedback to my students, and I don't have much time for spending time with my family or other activities that I would like to do.
All right, now let's move on to talk about social media. How often do you use social media?
Unfortunately, so much more often than I'd like to. I sometimes find myself mindlessly scrolling my Instagram feed or watching Reels or watching YouTube Shorts. And if I had the opportunity to change something about it, I would just spend less time on social media. And yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, and do you think social media has affected the way you communicate with other people?
Absolutely, in both positive ways and negative ways. Starting on a more positive note, I think it has enabled me to keep in touch with my friends more often. Like I have some friends who I got to know when we used to live in the dormitory, and now we're in touch more often. And I think that's because of social media and technology, which is a good thing. But then it also has some negative aspects to it. For example, I feel like sometimes we just keep talking through stickers and GIFs, and to me, that's starting to get a little bit annoying these days.
Why?
Because sometimes in real life, when I'm talking to people and they say something, I immediately in my mind want to respond with a sticker, but it's a face-to-face conversation and I don't have that option. So I think it's seriously affecting the way I think sometimes.
Okay. And have you ever thought of taking a break from social media?
I actually have thought about it, and I've done it a couple of times before. I think it's a really good way to detox mentally and improve your concentration, have a little peace of mind. And overall, I think it's a very good idea to do that. And I'm definitely going to do that really soon.
How soon are you planning?
In a month or so, basically in the near future.
All right, now I'm going to give you a topic and I would like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you will have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can also make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you see the topic?
Yes, I can.
And All right. I would like you to describe a piece of technology that has changed the way you communicate. You have 1 minute to prepare for this. All right. Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I will tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
So there are many different technological tools that I have used so far, and all of these technological tools have changed my life in substantial and meaningful ways. But the very first technological item that I purchased, which made a huge impact on my life, was my smartphone. I got my very first smartphone when I was 15 years old, and it was basically the first time that my phone could I could connect my phone to the internet, and I started, surfing the web. I started I started creating accounts on social media, on Instagram, etc. And I think this changed the way I communicate with people in different ways. For example, through social media, I got to see different lifestyles, different religious opinions, and different political perspectives. And that actually helped me a lot to look at different things from other people's perspective and have more empathy with people, actually, like not to jump into conclusions upon hearing someone had made a particular decision. Of course, uh, another different way, another positive aspect that it had was I could basically keep in touch with my friends and my acquaintances more often. And regarding why it is important to me, my time is up.
Thank you. And how would your life be different without this technology?
How would my life be different? Actually, I think I would be a less empathetic person. And yeah.
So we've been talking about a piece of technology that has changed the way you communicate. And now I'm going to ask you 1 or 2 more general questions related to this. Let's talk about the impact of technology on communication. How has technology influenced the way people communicate today compared to the past?
I think it has made some relationships deeper and some of them shallower. For example, in the past, when people got to know each other, they didn't have the opportunity to exchange their, contacts and social media IDs together and keep in touch even in the future. So technology and social media these days help them to deepen their relationship.
Right. And what if we're making this comparison to hundreds of years ago?
To hundreds of years ago, well, that would mark a really substantial change. I mean, in the past, people, definitely used less efficient and much slower means of communicating with each other. They would write letters, or they would send telegrams, and that's why they couldn't update each other on what was happening in their lives.
All right. Now let's talk about privacy and security. With more communication happening online, what do you think about the risks of privacy and security?
I think you make yourself susceptible to so many security breaches and privacy breaches. Your information could get hacked, your personal information could get stolen, and then, cyber criminals could blackmail you. And of course, there is the issue of child abuse. There are so many parents who actually share footage of their own children on social media and make them more susceptible to dangers that I just described.
And is there a way to protect ourselves?
Oh, definitely. One of the most important things that I personally do is that I never post in real time. I wait for at least an hour to post photos and stories of myself on social media. Like, I wait 30 minutes after getting out of a particular place, and then I post the footage that I want to post. And of course, I do not share any footage of minors in the family or among friends. I think they have to grow up and then decide for themselves. I think this ensures both my security and theirs.
All right, now let's talk about the future. In the future, do you think face-to-face communication will become less common?
It will become less common, actually, legacy of COVID, but it will never go away completely, in my opinion, because when people are talking face-to-face, or for example, when you're a student or a teacher in a class, there's always a sense of presence when it is face-to-face. There's always a sense of presence, which actually is a psychological concept. And that's why I think it might become common, face-to-face communication, but it will never go away completely. And people really need that human-to-human contact in a direct way.
Thank you very much. This is the end of the speaking test.